has a ghost story that's been passed down through the generations. But what if those legends were true? My name is Miranda Young, and I'm the Ghost Biker.
Hey everyone, and happy Thursday. You're back on the Ghost Biker Garage with your host, the Ghost Biker. I hope everyone has had a wonderful week. We had a great show last week. We've had a great month of shows so far, and looking forward to tonight's show and working on some different things that we've got cooking up here leading up into fall, which it's most people's favorite season. I know it is ours around here, and getting excited about season 5 of Ghost Biker Explorations, which is slated to drop the first Tuesday night during the month of October, and then every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern time throughout the month. On Thursday nights, we'll revive the Behind the Screams, where we will talk about each episode, have some special guests on, and also really dissect those episodes. So we're working hard to get all of that going, and hopefully, fingers crossed, everything is going to be completed and be ready by that first Tuesday. So just want to say hello to a couple people over here in the chat room. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Hello, Dr. Sumner, Steve Phillips, Joe Shortridge, Tony, Al. Thank you all so much for tuning in. And for those of you who are here, if you have any questions for myself or for my guest tonight, please put those over here in the chat room. And if you don't mind, please put them in all caps, because I know we're going to get to talking about a whole lot of really cool things on tonight's show, and I want to make sure that I don't miss your questions. And so if we've got a conversation going, if we're showing videos or something, and your question is there, I will definitely get to it. Just put those in all caps, and we'll make sure to get to it over here. So a couple really cool, interesting things going on tomorrow here at the historic Scott County Jail. We are going to be closed for a private event up until 2 p.m. Eastern time in the morning. We are hosting the retired teachers here at the historic Scott County Jail. So we will have that information. So if you are coming to see us here at the jail, hold on until 2 p.m. Eastern, because we will be closed until then, because they are having a dinner and special tours and such here. And if you would be interested in hosting one of your monthly meetings here, just reach out to us on the website or at 423-663-5353. So also we announced some really cool events that we've got going on with Ghost Biker as well as with the jail. So we just made the post on Facebook. I'm going to make sure I want to pull this stuff up while we're talking about it here. So just bear with me here for just a second. But exciting news, our escape room that's going to be here at the jail is about to open here very, very soon next month. But because we've got a lot of people interested in it and everything, our booking calendar opens next Wednesday, which is August 24th. So you'll be able to go in, book your 60-minute time slot, and get on the list for whenever we open, and bring your team through. It's limited to 4 people per team, because being in a jail, we do have tight quarters. But want to get on there, book your date, and be some of the first people to actually come in and see if you can escape the room within 60 minutes. I know that my business partner, Christy Sumner, she has done an amazing job setting up these games, or excuse me, not these games, but these puzzles to solve. So, we're really, really excited about that, and really proud of the work that she's done on that. So come and see if you can escape. So again, we sent an email blast out today, but we are also going to be having more information about that as it gets closer. We will definitely let you know when the booking calendar opens up on August 24th. So definitely want to be able to get those in there. Also, we just announced this week that Ghost Biker is going to be doing an event with Soul Sisters Paranormal at the just amazing, amazing location, Octagon Hall in Franklin, Kentucky. And so we put that up. We want to keep the numbers small because we like to do very intimate investigation, keep it small so that people aren't tripping over each other, don't have to worry about noise contamination and such. So we limited the tickets to 14 people. Let me get that pulled up as well. And we actually halfway sold out within an hour. So that was really exciting. Let me get that pulled up here. We're actually down to 2 tickets left. As of yesterday, we've sold out of 12 tickets. Only 14 are available. And so what you're going to get to do this particular night, it's Saturday, September 10th. It's from 7 Central Time up until 1 a.m. Central Time. And so you're going to get to go in. You get to not only investigate the amazing Octagon Hall Civil War Museum, but we also get to investigate the grounds. They've got several barns there. The slave cemetery is there. This place is big with Sasquatch activity as well as UFO activity. So we've got a lot of really cool things that are going on with this investigation. And so we're going to split them up 7 and 7. And Dr. Sumner is going to take 7. I will take 7. And we're just going to have a great time. We're going to spend that first hour from 7 to 8 going over the history. That's something that is extremely important to both her and I. We've heard from different people who have gone that's actually going back that they didn't really get a very strong history of it. So we're going to spend that first hour telling the history, orienting them on the history, and then going in, talk a little bit about the equipment, but for the most part, go in and investigate after that. So 2 tickets available. If anyone is interested, we've got the link on the Facebook page for Ghost Biker Explorations, as well as the website, www.ghostbikerexplorations.com. And then something else that this is actually going to be up tomorrow that I'm extremely excited about. Going to be partnering with the London Laurel Tourism Commission as well as Wildcat Harley Davidson. And we're going to be doing, let me pull this up here, because this is actually really big event, a full 3-day weekend thing. It's called Hogs and Haunts Ghost Biker Explorations Weekend. And so this is going to be something really different and unique. I know a lot of you have done some of my Harley events, and we've had a blast with this. But it's going to be the weekend of September 30th through October 2nd. On Friday, we're doing a meet and greet at Wildcat Harley Davidson in London, Kentucky. On Saturday, there's going to be a day ride with multiple points of interest. It's going to be about a 4-hour ride, and we're stopping at 4 different places. We are limiting those. It is a free ride, and we're limiting those to 15 bikes. That way we can keep it manageable at all the different places we're stopping at. And we'll have, once you sign up, we'll have detailed information of how this route goes. But we're even going to be stopping for lunch at the KFC Museum there in Kentucky. On Saturday night, we're doing a paranormal investigation at the Mountain Life Museum in Levi Jackson Wilderness Road Park. This location, as it's not been investigated very many times. So we're really excited about that. And then Sunday, we're honored to be able to host a private tour of the Saltpeter Cave there in Kentucky. That is also free. I think the only thing that actually has a cost to it is the investigation, and I believe that's going to be $40. And all the money that is raised on that is actually going to go to Shop with a Cop there in London, Kentucky. So, so we will have Ghost Biker merchandise there, but all the funds that are from this are going to go to that Shop with a Cop program. Plus, it's going to help with tourism there in London Laurel, Kentucky, and so we're super excited about that. The links to those events, even though the ride and the Saltpeter Cave are free, we do have a limited number, so you have to go on there and actually sign up for it. So stay tuned for that, because I know that the Eventbrite is probably going to be up tomorrow. We're also going to have Chris and Kelly from Wildcat Harley Davidson and the Tourism Commission on in a couple weeks to actually talk about that event. So again, we're super, excuse me, Sally, we're super excited about all that we've got going on with events and stuff coming up. There is also going to be a motorcycle ride with the Octagon Hall event, and we're still working on the route for that. It is different than the Octagon Hall investigation, and it's going to be about a 90-mile ride a 90-minute ride that is going to go through Bowling Green, Kentucky, and we're going to have that end at Octagon Hall, and it will end with a tour of the Octagon Hall house. So anyways, so just a lot of stuff going on, and we're real excited about it. You can find more information about that on the Ghost Biker Explorations website or Facebook page if you're interested in participating in any of those events. Plus, got a couple others in there that we will talk about here at the end of the show, but I want to go ahead and get to tonight's guest because, like I said, we've got a whole lot to talk about. And I was very honored to be able to actually meet them in person and work with them on a project. If you've been following the page and following the show, I did travel up to Illinois earlier. It was late last month, and got to work with these guys on a film project that they're doing. And they're just the epitome of professionalism, as well as, they know what they're doing. They're great investigators. I could definitely go up and spend more time and learning from these guys and spending time with them. But I'm going to jump right into to their bio here. Dan Norvell and Larry Eissler, they partnered up as Small Town Paranormal in 2010 and the Ghosthunter Dan Norvell Project in 2012. However, Dan has been investigating the paranormal since 1996. In their time together, they've produced the investigative series Expedition Entity and Brodhead Manor, a PARAFlixx Special Investigation, both viewable on the PARAFlixx network, and published the books Afterlife Anthology and Ghosts of the Black Hawk War through the Haunted Road Media. Outside of the paranormal, Dan spent 16 years in law enforcement and is a retired firefighter and paramedic. Larry spent 10 years in the Army before his medical discharge in 2015. He graduated in 2022 with a Bachelor of Science in History from Northern Illinois University, where he will be starting his Master's in Communications degree in the following fall. Together, Dan and Larry co-own Small Town Productions and will be releasing the new paranormal documentary series, Haunted or Not, sometime in early 2013. And that's the one that I was able to work with them on. So I'm going to go ahead and bring on Larry and Dan. Hey, guys.
Hello.
Hey, Miranda.
Hey, thank you all so much for coming on tonight.
Oh, you're welcome.
I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, so we're just going to go ahead and dive on into it. So, I gave a little bit in the bio about, projects you guys have worked on, but how did you guys meet and get started doing the paranormal?
Go ahead, Dan. You kind of started this before I got involved, so.
I've been involved in the paranormal since 1996, and, it kind of started out just my brother and I taking one of those great big old VHS cameras to cemeteries with the tape cassette recorders and seeing what we caught. And, it just kind of built from there. I didn't really get too serious about it. A couple times we would dive in a little heavier than at first, but I didn't really get involved and really become serious until around 2009. And then I met Larry not long after that at a event that we were doing for Small Town Paranormal. And Larry happened to be in attendance on that event, and he hung out afterwards. We got to talking and stuff, and then we started working on stuff together on the side, and we just became fast friends, and ever since then we've just been hitting it hard. I mean, we've been, we've stumbled along the way doing other things. Life gets involved, but what was it, Larry? 3 years ago, just before COVID, we finally decided, okay, we're gonna be serious. We're gonna go into business together, and we dived in and created Small Town Productions LLC. Then COVID hit, so
Of course.
we had about 5 projects already on the line, ready to go. These people were going to give us a shot, and all of a sudden, boop, COVID, and as well, you guys know, everybody was just shut down, and you know, we even went so far as to get vaccinated so that people would be able to still allow us to come out and do stuff, which that went nowhere. I ended up getting more sick from the vaccination than the 3 times I got COVID. So uh, it was just a complete mess. But, perseverance. Larry and I have 3 words that we choose to live by, and that's stay the course. And that's what we've been doing. And, a couple years ago, we decided to take Expedition Entity to the next level, and we did that. And we had first tried to send it off to Amazon, and Amazon has a funny thing about if they accept it or not, but they don't tell you why they didn't accept it. So you have to figure out what that is and fix it. And PARAFlixx had just came out a couple months before that, and I told Larry, I said, I've been hearing a lot about PARAFlixx and this, that, and the other thing. Why don't we send Expedition Entity there and see if they would be interested? And Natalie Jones met with us via Zoom. We had a meeting with her. She loved what she had seen, because Larry and I just sent her 1 episode. She absolutely loved it, and the rest is history. I mean, I can't say enough about Natalie. She's just an amazing lady, and she's done a lot for us. And being able to meet her and then work with her and Rob and Patty and Nick and everybody up at the Brodhead Manor special, that even made it, kind of come full circle. And I mean, we're riding the wave, and hopefully we can stay on the surfboard for quite a while longer here.
Here's a fun little fact, because you've got our Expedition Entity logo up on the screen right now.
Mm-hmm.
That moon is actually a real picture of the moon.
Oh,
yeah, I took that picture.
That's the actual moon that we tinted orange for our logo.
Nice. That's impressive. And that's something I got to say, with you guys and having, worked with you all on your upcoming project, that doesn't surprise me, the quality of that picture, because that's one of the things that I got to say about you guys, just the quality of your investigating, the quality of your equipment, the quality of your editing. It really shows, and just very impressive. So that doesn't surprise me, because you guys are high tech and high quality.
I try.
Well, we appreciate it. Well, we came to the conclusion that if it's worth doing, it's worth doing all out, and you have to jump in. I mean, both feet, and sink or swim. And when we decided to do that, that's when good things started to happen. We did our share of floundering in the water, didn't we? I mean, we really did.
Well, kind of like Dan said, life gets in the way, and sometimes that means you stop investigating the paranormal because something got in the way. I think we took a 2-year break from the paranormal when we had our Blog Talk radio show, JP Apocalyptic Radio, and it almost had nothing to do with the paranormal. I mean, we covered like conspiracy theories, and one show we did Bigfoot. But, our 3 top shows were, the miracle of bacon, and how bacon is so great, how beer saved civilization, and we introduced our viewers to Miglio, Dan's kidney stone.
You guys are horrible people.
Those were our top 3 shows. So they had nothing to do with the paranormal. And then, you get the itch, and everyone knows what the itch is. And all of a sudden we're back at it again. And over the years, technology gets better, it gets cheaper, and you start looking at your mini DV and you go, it's not too hard to get a 720p camera. It's not too hard to get 1080p. Now we've got 4K. So, you know.
Yeah, I mean, at the beginning when we started out with the mini DVs and the Sony Hi8, we thought that was the cat's meow then, and compared to what we have now and what we're doing now, and now that you don't have to, mess with tape.
Burn to a DVD, download the DVD, cut it.
Download the DVD, cut it, and then hope that you don't lose a lot of the integrity of what you recorded.
Yeah.
Whereas now, I mean, what Larry records is what we get, and it's been an amazing ride. And season 1 of Expedition Entity exceeded our expectations.
It did.
And if you guys have seen season 1 and you liked it, you haven't seen anything yet, because season 2 is going to blow it out of the water.
So when does season 2 come out?
Officially, I believe, let me just double check my calendar here. It will be September 23rd is the first episode. I want to say it's 8 p.m. Central on PARAFlixx, and then every Friday after that until the 28th of October, and that'll be episode 6.
Okay, perfect.
So we get that prime Halloween slot on Friday night.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. And so just in case, because I know we do have a lot of people who know what PARAFlixx is, but just in case someone doesn't know, I know you talked about, the wonderful Natalie Jones and her team, but just kind of give, kind of a little plug of what PARAFlixx is, just in case some of the folks watching don't watch it or don't know what it is and would like to kind of see for themselves.
So PARAFlixx is a subscription-based video on-demand network. So it is quite literally the Netflix of the paranormal.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sandy. And just like with Netflix, you go on there and you can scroll, and there's dozens and dozens of shows with all different styles of doing things. There's these wonderful ladies down from Australia that have a season or 2 on there, and they do things their way. We do things our way. Shadowhunters does things his way. Everyone has their own style, and PARAFlixx brings it all together. And just like Netflix, it gives you categories and whatnot. There's even paranormal themed music videos, and they have them on there. So it when people say it's the PARAFlixx or the Netflix of the paranormal, it really is. However, though, it is much, much cheaper.
Yeah, exactly, especially now. So since we're talking about season 1, I'm actually going to go ahead and pull up that season 1 trailer.
Sure.
That way, let's see. I did have that here on the screen. I'm just going to pull it up from your website here. There we are. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and start it from there, and we'll maximize the screen here.
I just heard somebody go, fire!
You know how to do that. Ooh. I just got really cold.
How you like to
I mean, I am freezing.
I'm hearing footsteps. on the balcony right over here by me. Very faint.
Towards the end, it got real intense. It got really heavy feeling in here.
Really?
And I actually, when I said, "Are you guys walking around?" It felt like it didn't feel. It sounded like somebody took about 3 steps, stood up there, and was looking in the window.
Woo!
Nice. So that was the first season trailer, and like these
Shout
guys
out
said,
to our main man, Steve.
yes, yes. And so like these guys said, if you've seen that, you've not seen anything yet. So you guys have added a couple more people to your team, right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
We added Jen and Laura, who they have their own investigative team called the Wisconsin Files. And, I had been watching what they had been doing on YouTube and Instagram and stuff for quite a while. And I told Larry, I said, you need to check these guys out because I really like their style. I like the way they do things. And we had been looking on expanding the cast. And Larry started watching as well. And I reached out to Jen. And she got back to us. And I said, we'd like to meet with you guys, talk with you a little bit. And Laura, unfortunately, was not able to make the first meeting, but Jen came down. We took her over to the battleground and showed her that and talked with her a little bit. We took her to dinner, and then we said, Jen, we'd really like you guys to join us for the cast and finish up an episode here in season 2 with you. And they were all for it, and I'll tell you what, 2 of the nicest ladies I've ever met in my life, and I love the way they approach things. I love the way they investigate. I love the way that they are who they are, and you can watch or you don't have to. Hey, Steve.
Hey, Steve.
And they're just 2 awesome ladies, and we're so happy to have them.
Well,
Yeah,
you should talk about bringing Steve back too, because for season 1, Steve wasn't in it.
Yeah, Steve was in the very first episode of season 1, which was the Vets Hall, and we had season 1 was really just a mess. We had 5 episodes besides the Vets Hall shot, completed, and ready to go. And one of the people that was in it with us decided that they didn't want to be on PARAFlixx. They didn't want to be part of the show anymore and refused to sign off. So Larry and I had to literally shoot 5 episodes in a very short amount of time. And unfortunately, we couldn't get with Steve to do that. We just had to go out and, Larry, we were investigating all the time.
It was shot, edited, and submitted 5 episodes in 6 weeks.
Wow.
We were going nonstop.
The shortest one, I believe, is 29 minutes, and the longest one, I think, is 44.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a lot of footage to condense down in that amount. It was rough.
Yeah, because I know for my episodes, I try to keep them between 20 and 40 minutes. And when you're somewhere, if you're just doing an evening investigation, that's one thing. But whenever you're at a location for 12 hours and you've got static cameras and audio and your mobile cameras and all this stuff with you, it's hard to really condense because even and still tell a story, still tell that story of that investigation as well as put in, because like we all know, when you don't always get something that entire time, but it's it's important to show all of that. And so to be able to tell the story, show what you don't get, what you do get, it's tough to condense that down to a short period of time.
Yeah.
For our last episode of season 1, which was Brodhead Manor, we went up there and it was just Larry and Bill and myself in the building the whole time. And we were there the total of 18 hours, and Larry and I were rolling camera for 14 of those 18 hours. I mean, we just went nonstop.
Yeah. And that's important because a lot of the time, if, I know for me, it's this, you get stuff when you're not actively investigating. You're taking that break. We get people here at the jail that, because the bathroom, unfortunately, is one of our most active spots because it was our former drunk tank. And they're getting stuff when they go into the bathroom and don't turn their recorders off. They're getting these disembodied voices. And so, showing that, having the audio, of course you don't have the video with it, but, keeping those cameras rolling are just extremely important.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we found that out at our last investigation, didn't we, Larry?
We did. Yeah. I'm not a huge fan of the static cam because then I have to watch 8 hours of static cam.
Yeah.
And then I do all the evidence review, the sound, the video. Dan does the photos. But 150 photos versus 16 hours of static cam video.
Yeah.
So I'm not a huge fan of the static cam. I like to set it up when something was really happening.
Yeah.
And then when we leave, I like to set something up like a trigger object to see if it'll continue. But for some reason, the first 2 locations for season 2, we just set them out and caught a bunch of things we would have never caught because it was in between our sessions.
Yeah.
So
and sometimes you'll trigger activity in other locations. Like when you're doing an active session, you'll trigger activity in that section where you have your static cameras caught. And that's always so cool whenever that happens. And you can sometimes hear yourself asking the questions and see the responses coming from another area or get the disembodied voices. So
there was one session we were in the basement, and Dan had heard a voice in the level above him, and it just so happened that I had the static cam in that room, and I can flip to it, and static cam shows there's nobody in the room.
Nice. Now, do you have your static cams linked to where you can look at them in the moment if you do start to feel activity, or is that something you have to go back and review after the fact?
It's all after the fact.
Same here.
So it's all tedious, watching the screen, looking for any movement, listening for any sound. It gets exhausting, but
yeah, we did away with the DVR stuff. How long ago, Larry? About 6 years ago. We just decided it wasn't high enough quality as it was.
Yeah, it was a 720, and we were trying to bump up to 1080, and I'm like, zooming in and blowing up a 720 video, it just doesn't look great.
Yeah.
So, and again, now you're talking about 4 8-hour plus cameras. No.
Plus running wire, that really cuts into, it. When people watch these TV videos and they see, that they come in, they've got the beautiful B-roll, they've got, all of this stuff, these teams, Ghost Adventures, Ghost Hunters, all of these different teams, they're there for a week or, at least a couple days, wearing the same clothes, trying to film at the same time and that sort of thing to get all this beautiful stuff to condense in. Well, when we're at a location, we're lucky if we're there 2 days. Most of the time we're there 12 hours. And so when you put a production together, it's especially when it's self-produced, you're going in, you're not only having to set up for the investigation, but you've got to go in, you got to get that daytime B-roll, that nighttime B-roll, take those photos beforehand and so you can analyze them and then just the setup. So when you've got an hour or so to run cable at some of these locations, that just cuts into a lot of time. And I don't know, do you guys film your stories and interviews there at the locations as well?
So one thing that we do for Expedition Entity, we shape everything around as if the viewer were in the investigation.
Okay.
So that means that, like you said, Ghost Adventures, Ghost Hunters, they're there for a week. Our investigation is whatever time slot the location would give you if you were renting it.
Yeah.
So one of the locations that that we're going to have for season 2, it's called the Egyptian Theater in DeKalb, Illinois. it's a 4-hour time slot. And we paid extra to get an hour before and an hour after because that's your setup and teardown.
Yeah.
But the investigation is still 4 hours. So everything that you see all took place in a 4-hour window. And then what we do is when it comes time for the daytime stuff, the B-roll, the interviews and all that, that we'll do much earlier in the day. We don't count that towards the investigation time, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But we try to get it in one day as much as possible.
Yeah.
Because we found in the past that it's hard to track people back down again to get the interviews. So
yeah, and it's tough because, you know, like with myself, it's usually just me and a camera person. And if you're traveling out of state, if you're lucky and you can, you know, get extra time to get your B-roll and stuff, but when you're just there for those however many hours, and some places are only 4 or 6 hours, going in and getting that B-roll and stuff, I mean, that stuff takes time. I quit really, most of the time I don't tell my story at those locations anymore, just because, you know, you got to have the script written beforehand and the time and everything. So if I can get the opportunity to go back or go to a different location to talk, I try to do that. But it is tough when you're self-producing and you're trying to get all of that in and still put out an amazing, slick production like some of the TVs do. And I mean, you guys must have a really good formula because, I mean, you make it work.
It has been ironed out, let's just say. Everything is written down, printed, you know, whatever you have to do to get Dan to say, okay, during this session, I need you to ask this question, and then just go from there.
Yeah.
And that's how we continue our story of, you know, last time we were here, we talked to this spirit, we had this interaction, let's continue that. And you know, honestly, the only scripting that we have for our whole show is the questions that Dan asks.
Yeah.
Everything else is live action. So
nice.
The people that give their stories, they talk about their locations, that's just them speaking. When Dan investigates, I tell him, hey, I kind of want this question. And then after that, that's all off the top of his head. So, you know, and it took us a long time of working together for him to know what I want and for me to know what to say to get what I want. But now, you know, I don't even really have to prompt him very much because he already knows exactly what we're looking for going into the session, to where he could be like, okay, last time we were here, we talked to the spirit Emily. I kind of want to talk to Emily more, knowing that I want that.
Let's go ahead. We got a question here, and then we'll get to this question, and then we'll go into some of the different video that you guys have. Sandy says, out of all the places you investigated for season 1, what was your most active location?
Mine might be different than yours, Dan, but I'll let you go first.
I would say Brodhead.
Okay. I would probably have to agree. It was honestly a toss-up between Maple Cemetery, just because we've always gotten stuff there. Miranda, you've been there.
I have.
It's an incredibly haunted little patch of dirt.
It is definitely. I mean, these guys aren't just blowing smoke on that. It is very active.
It's an intense place. But Brodhead, Brodhead takes the cake. And the only reason I'm saying that is because of the interaction that I had there in June. And you know, it caught me off guard. I'll see if I can find that video for you.
So we're going to go ahead and I think show some of these videos that you guys have provided here. Let's see. You want me to just show this one from? So we've got Brodhead. We've got a Class A EVP and Kellogg's Grove. Which would you like me to start with?
Start with any of them.
Okay, I'll start with Brodhead. So we're going to play that. And then if you want to, after it's said and done, you know, kind of not necessarily set it up, but talk a little bit about it, we'll go from there. So we'll get this started. I'm going to mute my mic when we do.
So guys, if you're here, it's just Bill and I now. Can you light up the lights on the box over there? There's a little black box with a green line on it. Can you light it up?
All right. Elizabeth, if you're here, I know you're standing by me. Can you run over there and turn on that little green light, make it turn yellow? You know how to do that.
Ooh,
You
I just got really cold.
my legs are goosebumps.
I mean, I am freezing.
Elizabeth, run over there and play with that little
Holy
box,
cow.
please.
Dude, I mean, I am freezing. Feel my back.
How does that help?
But I'm freezing.
You got goosebumps or something?
I got goosebumps.
I don't know if I got goosebumps, but man,
Flashlight.
I mean, I am freezing. Holy cow.
See all the bumps right there?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
It
jeez.
is not cold in here.
I'm getting,
Not so much.
not so much.
Elizabeth, are you here playing?
It
It's
is-
time to play.
It is hot in here, so I don't know why you guys are cold.
Dude, I am frozen.
All right.
That was. I'll let Dan talk about the encounter because it happened to him. But I will say, Brodhead Manor has no heating and air conditioning, and this was in August, and it was probably 90 degrees in that building at night. So
Yeah, it was.
and I don't know if you could tell, but we were both wearing jeans and vests, and it was hot. It was very hot.
Yeah, it was a scorcher for sure. And Bill and I were sitting there. You see Larry walk in after, or you see Larry walk in just before that, and he was out grabbing some other stuff because we were going to do some further tests in that room. And all of a sudden, as you see him move out of frame within a couple seconds, it just felt somebody hit Bill and I with a humongous snowball. I mean, I'm really surprised you couldn't see your breath. It was that cold. It was just weird. And it was not far after that Bill's and my mics both turned off, which is something that happens at Brodhead quite frequently, by the way. So we didn't expect it, but it did happen to Bill and I both. So thankfully, Larry and I back everything up with a DR5 on top of the camera. And that's what really saved that session because, just in case that kind of stuff happens. But yeah, it was really strange.
Well, and that was going to be my next question was, did anything else significant happen after that? So thank you for following up with the mic thing. So like you said, so that was Brodhead Manor, and that was, you said, probably your most active of season 1.
Brodhead Manor
Yeah,
has this nasty little habit of deleting or corrupting files in that room.
Jail
So
does too.
the microphones that Dan and Bill are wearing, right when they got cold, the audio files stopped recording and then corrupted the whole thing. So all of their audio was gone, and I had nothing left but my room mic. And luckily that one didn't get corrupted, but it just goes to show you got to have some kind of extra mic because they like to mess with this stuff.
And did you know that that it had corrupted the files, or was that something you found out after you got home? And
I sadly found out in editing.
Yeah.
I was sad. But the rest of the night though, nothing. They were all fine. It was just that one time in that room.
Wow.
Which Miranda, you got to experience the lav mics. That's exactly what we were using, and firsthand how hard those are to start and stop.
Yeah.
So it's not like Bill and I could have both at the same exact time stopped our mics when our hand, you can see I'm holding the camera, and Bill was just sitting there with his hands on his lap. So, yeah, it was pretty weird, to say the least.
It's an interesting location. Yeah.
Great clip. So, so the next one I've got is Kellogg's Grove. You want to set that up right quick, and then we'll play it.
Sure.
How many of you are around here? I heard 9. I just heard somebody go, fire! Like,
Yeah.
giving an order to fire.
Fire, yeah.
That one's not very long.
So,
yeah.
what is the story behind that location?
So that takes place at the Kellogg's Grove battle site. It's one of the battles of the Black Hawk War of 1832.
Okay.
And we were on or very near the anniversary of the battle. And we were just out doing an SB7 session, and Dan's asking questions. And when you hear the fire, it's almost like a verbal command to fire.
Okay.
As if everyone was lined up, their rifles were raised, and they sending a volley down. Which, you know, when they were fighting back then, that was one of the styles of fighting. You waited until they were lined up in the right spot, and then you sent a big volley down towards them. So, you know, to be on the anniversary date or near it, to be in the location approximately where the battle happened, and then to get that type of response was really interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, because that's not something that's just going to come across the radio or come across the SB7, especially at that timing.
Right. Which, if you listen to the frequency hopping, the fire comes in over 2 or 3 stations.
Yep.
So that means it was in the static being said through it.
Yes. I always
Very
love it when
great.
you can do that. And that's cool you guys look at that because, you know, looking at it and listening to it through going across the sweeps there. I mean, it's hard to deny that whenever you can see it doing it.
Yeah.
Let's see. This other one I've got is Dan's Class A EVP. So we'll
Yeah.
pull that up.
No, I must have sent you the super short one.
Ah. Yeah, I'd say so.
So, Dan, you want to talk about that one? Or you want me to take it?
That I actually caught that EVP before I ever met Larry. I was in the basement of a house that was about 130 years old at the time. And I was with my sister, a friend of mine, and we were investigating. And I asked the question, of course, would anybody like to talk to us? And then we got that creepy answer. Now, we didn't hear that when we're down there. It wasn't like a disembodied voice, but when we played it back, our eyes all... it definitely, you know, just doesn't sound friendly at all.
Well, and it might be a little hard to hear on the video
Mhm.
because it's a voice recorder that doesn't have a way to download. So you got to record from speaker to microphone to headphones. So when you listen to it, it's saying it's my turn to talk, answering the question that Dan asked: would anyone like to talk down here? So when you actually have the recorder up to your ear, it's very, very clear.
Yeah, and we definitely always encourage everyone to. I could hear it, but I've got headphones on, and so definitely encourage you guys when we're playing these EVPs and these videos and stuff to go back, listen with headphones and stuff because it does make a world of difference. And so, you know, just go back and replay the episode there. The next one we've got is season 1 at the Vets Hall, which I just saw Steve's comment here where he said, in answering the question about the most active, he said, I would say the Vets Hall because he wasn't at Brodhead.
Which is interesting to me because Steve has been on every single shoot for season 2, and he still says the Vets Hall.
Ah, very cool.
And we saw some things this year that,
Yeah, we did.
we'll go ahead and play that, and then we'll talk just a little bit about the Vets Hall right after.
You're recording?
Recording. Give us a good clap.
Okay. 1, 2, 3.
Hope for the best.
All right. This is Ghostbox session number 2, Ghosthunter Dan Norvell Project.
Another super short one, but I always find this one really funny because, you know, when you're doing production stuff and you got multiple microphones, you have to find a way to sync them all together. And when you're not carrying around a slate, the best way to do it is just one big clap. So that's what we did. And lo and behold, the SB7 came back and said, sounds good.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, we didn't hear it, obviously, because Dan would have said something or made a face. And then I'm going back listening to it. And I'm like, what? Wait a minute. So that one caught me off guard a little bit.
That was really cool. Especially, I mean, just shows they're aware of what's going on and what you're doing.
Yeah.
So,
Yes, they are.
So as far as the Vets Hall, is that somewhere that is active? I mean, I'm sure it's in use now. Is that something that the folks that are there have talked about the activity?
Oh yeah, Scott, who is he works with the curator of the exhibits and things, but Scott pretty much runs the whole Vets Hall and the organization for the county, and he experiences stuff there all the time. I mean, one of the best pictures we ever caught was at the Vets Hall, and it was a shadow figure sitting down on the steps watching us as we were investigating. And it was really cool to be able to blow that picture up and present it to Scott at an event that we were doing with him. And he has it sitting up in his office. He talks about it quite frequently.
So are there artifacts in there, or is it the land that you believe causes the activity?
There are thousands and thousands of artifacts, both
Yes.
on display, in storage. Exhibits get rotated out. One of the coolest ones that I think is the best artifact in there is they have a casting of President Lincoln's death mask and his hands from when he died.
Yeah, that's cool.
So, which they don't always put out, and I'm like, Scott, you got to put it out. I want to see it.
Yeah.
But it's so awesome.
Wow. That's very cool. I can totally understand why there would be activity there. So this next one we've got is Dan's Freakout. I'm interested to see this.
Larry,
There could be language in this. I don't know if this is the one I bleeped out or not.
All right.
Hey everybody, Ghosthunter Dan. Larry and I are back at the gathering spot of Blackhawks Warriors at night. So we're going to try a ghost box session. What the holy is that?
Oof. What are you looking at?
Dude, I swear to God, somebody just walked across the water.
What?
A dude just walked across the water.
How could you see that?
Because I can see it off the shine of the thing. Can you see the water there?
I can't see anything. There's no light bouncing off of it. I don't have a flashlight.
Okay, well, whatever. Let's get this done.
I'm going to be sharing a picture of Larry later that he's not going to be real happy about.
Don't worry, my freak out is in one of the links I sent her. You'll get your just desserts. But
so did you actually see something? You think, or
yeah, we were on the bridge that spans the Kishwaukee River where it dumps into the Rock River, and up on the bluff is where Blackhawk gathered his warriors the night of Stillman's Run. And what I had seen was what looked like it looked more like a soldier, which the Federal Army did finally send soldiers here when Stillman got routed because President Andrew Jackson had no confidence in the Illinois militia after that. And that's exactly what it looked like, Miranda. It looked like a soldier walking across the top of the water, very regimented, holding a rifle. And I just happened off the moonshine of the water. The moon was shining on what you can't see in the video that great, but it was clear as day. Looked like a guy just walking right across the top of the water. So, which it was probably a residual thing, and there could have been a bridge there back in his time or whatever, and they were crossing it. I don't know, but yeah. Looking down there, I definitely did not expect to see that at all, and you see my reaction. You see my action, so.
Well, definitely very genuine, and of course, it's always awesome when you're sitting there doing your thing, and then they're doing theirs, and you end up capturing it. So very, very cool. So
I guess to make it up to Dan, though, you got to show mine.
Is that the one that's uploaded here?
The second YouTube link that I sent you.
Let's see here. Okay. Yeah, so I'll go ahead and pull that up.
There you go, Dan. Now you get your revenge.
If it's what I'm thinking, it's not revenge.
You'll be all right. This hopefully it works, but this clip also comes from Brodhead, which kind of explains also why it's one of our more haunted locations, and a little bit of background on the building. It's over 100 years old middle school that has been converted to a middle school, all ages, high school, middle school, elementary, all over the place. And around 30 years ago, it closed and then sat abandoned for 25 years. And then approximately 5-ish years ago, our friend Bill and a woman, Ann, picked the building up, and they started rehabbing it and running a haunted house out of it. Well, the building not only came with, 25 plus years of abandonment issues, of, ceilings coming down and floors buckling, whatnot. It also came with a lot of ghosts. And in this one particular room that will be shown in the video, it's the boiler room, which they have these really amazing, massive boilers from Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Nice.
And there is a janitor that inhabits that room, and he does not take kindly to people being in his room. So we went and investigated his room. He didn't take kindly to it. But
Larry couldn't shake it like I could, though.
There's a little different scenario here.
Yeah, but he tried getting my attention, and I just said, "Don't touch me."
Again, a little different scenario here. I don't want to spoil it, though, but I would have much preferred him to touch my arm the way he touched your arm.
Fair enough.
Yeah, that's right. If it's not working, I can try to see if I can find the local file I have for it.
Or they can just catch it on our YouTube if you can't get it, Larry.
That too. The problem is when you're shooting a series like we are, sometimes you run out of room, and you have to move things around to make more room. And I have moved many things around,
especially in 4K.
Was it not playing on there?
I'm not seeing anything.
Oh, no, that was crazy. Because let me try it. Because I had that pulled up playing the whole time. I was sitting there watching. I didn't realize.
Oh.
Let me try it this way. Sorry about that.
No, that's okay.
It's all right.
Here we go. Let's see if this will work this way. Okay. So I was trying to pull it up from the conversation there. Okay, here we go. I can go and I can share it from the link here. I'm glad you said something because I was sitting here watching it and I was muting it while you guys were talking. And
Oh yeah, I thought you were working on getting it pulled up and everything, and I'm like,
no.
well, we don't want dead air, so I'm just going to talk about it.
No, I'm glad you did there.
All right. We're in the boiler room at Brodhead.
That's Jen, by the way.
And it's Jen, Larry, and myself. We're doing a ghost box session. And the door behind Larry, there's a spirit in there that just wants to be left alone. And we're not going to go in there and bother him.
But if it would like to come out and speak with us, by all means.
We're okay with that.
If there's something that you want to say.
As long as it's peaceable.
Right.
Because we're going to remain respectful. So.
Right. But if there's something that you want to say, you can come out here.
And let Bill know.
And let Bill know.
And we'll pass it on to him.
If you just want to be left alone, we can pass that message on to Bill, no problem.
And Bill will keep people out of there.
So, ready?
Yeah. Okay. How many spirits are here at Brodhead? Is there a custodian down here? I thought I saw something over there out of the corner of my eye. Do you guys like what Bill's doing with the building? Are you guys stuck here?
I think it's important.
Is there anything you'd like us to tell Bill? Do you just want to be left alone? Well, Bill respects your guys' being here. He wants you to stay here if you want, as long as you do it peacefully. Jen and Larry and I have nothing but respect. We're not here to make anybody upset. We're just here to let you answer us if you want to. So I'll ask one more time. Is there anything you would like us to tell Bill? Is there any questions you guys have?
What's up?
Any questions you guys want to ask?
Sure.
Go for it.
Okay.
Well, she asked.
Is it okay I ask you a question?
This just tinked. Like right after you asked that, it tinked.
And I was just about to ask if they were upset if I was here earlier when I went in there. I wasn't trying to upset you. I was just curious. Can you come and talk with us this evening?
Oh, here it comes.
Oh, you said no. Would you like us to leave?
Touching my back.
It's chillier over here.
Touching my back.
Chillier.
I don't
Said
like it.
fucker leave.
I don't like it.
It just said fucker.
I don't.
Really?
I don't like this.
I know you don't. Let's go.
Yeah, did you touch my
Everything
hand?
is chilly.
Did you touch my
Okay,
hand?
Look at my hands are.
Yeah,
I
let's
thought
go.
my thumb did touch. My
Let's
thumb
look at my arm.
was touched.
Look at my
Yeah.
arm.
It's, Larry, it said fucking leave. It's time to
All
go.
right.
I felt
Listen,
skin on my thumb.
We're gonna leave. Don't worry about it. Thank you for talking with us.
We live in
And
peace,
we'll see what you
respect.
said and we'll go over it.
Yeah, we're
So-
out of here.
Thank you.
Thanks for talking to us.
Yes. Good night. Thank you.
And we're leaving.
That was a little longer than I thought it'd be, but there were some
Yeah.
really weird interactions that we had over the SB7 there. You know,
Yeah.
it's saying something about, you know, it walking in and then Dan just happens to look over and think he saw something. And then I got felt up. In a not
and
so
told
nice
to
way.
leave.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what was really cool about that. I mean, even the responses, excuse me, when Jen would talk, they were responding to her. I mean, that real direct. So real intelligent responses in the moment right there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
So-
also kind of fits the the type of activity you guys have gotten and other people have gotten from that area.
Yeah. He.
Right.
I have another clip. It's on PARAFlixx for the Brodhead special that we did. It's kind of like a teaser for that. This woman Michaela from Park City Paranormal. She was almost pushed down the concrete stairs that's on the other side of those boilers. And she just happened to fall, I believe, into Bill, the owner. Otherwise, she would have gone right down like 10 to 15 stairs.
Wow.
So it's a little intense pocket in the building.
Yeah. Huh. Has anybody come forward that specifically knows this guy that worked there in the boiler room, or they just kind of know him in depth?
I'm not sure. From what we've always been told, it's the janitor, and he's very upset. He doesn't like people back there. He thinks that, you know, all the people in the building are messing the building up, and he has to go and clean it. Okay, sorry.
Gets really grumpy.
So, really grumpy.
And let's see. Just looking here to see. So I've got another clip that you uploaded from season 2, kind of a preview. And then I'm
Yeah.
wondering I believe the other one is another link. It was the first link you sent.
Yes, yeah. That one,
Okay.
it's a little on the longer side too. You don't have to play the whole thing,
Okay.
but you get the idea in the first minute or so.
Okay. I'll pull it up first, and then we'll get into the new stuff. So
Yeah.
I'm going to have to do it the exact same way I did this other one. Okay.
So I can't really say too much about this one because that'll give it away right away. But this is one of our best catches. And it's on a device that we hardly use and we're trying to use more often. But, you know, sometimes it's hard. And on this time we happen to get lucky.
And that's the thermal?
Yeah. Oh, I forgot about that intro. We've come a long way.
Yes, we have.
Larry, I got an anomaly. Yeah, it's moving through the cemetery. Like right now. Yeah. Oh, you bet. It's stuck. It's right there. It's a dude. I mean, it's right there. It moved all the way across, man. Okay, I'm running video, Larry. I'm going to hand it to you. Oh, it disappeared.
It's gone. Go back over
It
to the right. Go
disappeared.
back to the right.
Oh, now he's standing out.
Don't move.
I'm not moving.
Don't move.
But I'm going to give it to you, and I'm going to shine the light.
Hold this.
Ready? Okay.
Okay. Go there.
He moved out closer, farther away from the tree. Now he's like in the middle.
Yeah.
You see movement, Larry?
He's moving right now.
I see him just standing still.
Well, he moved farther away from the tree.
It's almost like he's peeking out from the side of the tree.
Yeah. It's like he's leaning way out.
Right.
Can you move, sir? Can you walk away from the tree?
Can he even hear you? So yeah,
Wow.
unfortunately, that was our old Seek thermal, which is 720p. So to blow that up into 1080, it kind of pixelates a little bit, but yeah, that was an interesting one. We ended up going back to revisit it in a separate video that's on our YouTube, and we had Dan walk the path that we think the spirit took. And then I recorded him in the daytime with the thermal, and it was identical. It was identical.
Wow.
So it probably, what would you say, Dan, covered 50, 60 feet from start to finish before it hit the tree?
Pretty much, yeah. And he was moving pretty good, as you could see.
Yeah. Yeah.
He was pretty good.
Right. What we figured out in the revisit,
Miranda, you know where we're talking. Oh yeah. But where we did our wrap up and where we did our Facebook Live, you and I, that's right where we started seeing him, and then he moved through that line of trees. So
Maple
it was kind of weird. Definitely.
Yeah, and that's an interesting spot there because it does have that kind of that walkway between the trees.
Yeah.
But then also, am I correct when I said it looked like it kind of came out from the side and went into that walkway of trees, or went into that grove of trees?
Yeah, it started in the middle of Maple and then walked into the line of trees and then just kind of peeked out next to the big one at the end.
Well, and it seems like there's always, just from the stories you guys have told me and some of the stuff, it seems like the entities that are in that cemetery, that's kind of what they like to do, is either sort of peek out from the trees or look down from the trees if they're up in the trees, or really kind of watch what's going on.
Yeah, we have a great photo that
what was really
of a black mist from the top of a tree that we took just after Dan had saw a shadow figure apparition in the tree. So,
and that's definitely
what was really cool was the night that you were there with us, Miranda. Somebody kept saying your name. They kept saying Miranda.
Yeah.
They would get, and then
4 times.
Miranda. And it was strange. It was just a strange night.
Yeah, we videoed that session, and I know I need to go back and pull that because I know I did some with my phone.
Oh, I was going to send you that video too. I forgot to.
That's right. Well, you've had a lot going on, but we'll get that and put that out there because that was really cool. So, we were filming up the wrap-up session of what I was up there with them, helping them film, and it was really cool because I guess we probably did maybe like a 30-minute investigation, maybe.
Yeah, probably.
Something like that. Yeah, and so I tell you something else that was wild about that place was the dowsing rod session, or the lack of. You guys were really telling me, I know I love my rods, and Dan uses the rods a lot, and so they were doing the session up there, and through the many times you've investigated there, you've kind of learned the way that some of the different folks use the rods and know who you're talking to based on how they use the rods. And when I took the rods to try to communicate as well, it was like something was just absolutely blocking the session. And it was, I've had the blocking happen before, but nothing like that. You could feel the pull, but then it was almost like you could feel the resistance as well. And those rods were not moving. And what was interesting about it was Dan took the rods and started asking questions. And he was getting responses as to why the blocking was happening. And it wasn't until we actually stepped out of the cemetery that you were able to get a few more responses on that.
Yep.
Yeah, it was strange to say the least, because it's never happened to me before, and yeah, definitely something there. Just didn't want Miranda using the rods, and didn't want us doing anything in the cemetery anymore. So,
Yep.
I don't know. It was very strange.
Well, we had invited our friend Dale Kasmerick to the cemetery one time, and he was using the Phasma box, which you got to experience with us. And right at the very end, it goes investigation over, and then everything died. In the same exact spot. Yeah, the same spot that we were standing where the dowsing rods pretty much died. All of his stuff died.
Wow.
So I guess it's an established encounter there now. Things just don't work when they're supposed to.
Yeah, and it's interesting because we were using the Phasma box, and I'm trying to remember. It said a bad word, and I can't remember what it said.
It said bastard.
Yes, that was it. And I think I said something like, "Who's a bastard?" And I believe there was someone that said, "Watch your mouth," or something.
Yeah.
Yep. Watch your mouth.
Yeah. So that was really funny. I mean, because they were literally, and it sounded like the same voice. Like it was okay for them to say it, but not me.
You could not say that word.
No. That was really cool. I hope to get back up.
Oh, they did not want Miranda. Well, to have you be able to come up and work with us on that project was awesome, Miranda, and we can't wait to work with you again. So we'll definitely have to set something up in the future. And I know there's a few things, and I don't want to say anything out in the open to where we're going to try to do that, but everything that we experienced and everybody out, Miranda's followers and stuff, you guys don't know what we went through in those 2 days, but I'll tell you what, we pulled it together, and it was incredible. It was incredible to be able to work with you and to be able to finally meet you, and I'm just happy that you had a good time when you were up here, because I know after the guys, you don't even realize after the first day, all of us were feeling pretty dejected. Trust me. But it went very well the next day, and that's what happened, and that's all that really matters. That happened. So,
yeah. The only thing Miranda was allowed to buy was a bag of chips and a pop.
Yeah,
that's true. No, it was a great experience, and like I said, just to be able to meet you guys in person and to be able to work with you all on this project. Like I said, I don't know about the entire documentary, just from what I was reading with my lines and all of that. I can't wait to see what you guys put together, and I'm pulling up the screen now. We kind of teased on it just a little bit ago, but this is slated for what, 2023?
Yeah, that's my next project after I finish season 2 here for Expedition Entity. Start going through that, and sometime in September, October-ish, we'll start on our B-roll for the different themes, and then yeah.
Yeah, exciting stuff. And we've got the link there. If you go to Small Town Productions, you can and click on the Haunted or Not. You can see a little bit more information about the documentary, the folks that were involved. I loved working with Leslie. She was so wonderful, and just your team that you guys had. The whole thing was just an amazing experience. And like I said, I felt like I learned so much, and then truly honored to be a part of this. So yeah, just extremely excited. I hate I didn't get to meet Jen and Laura, but hopefully next time.
Yeah, I hope so too. Unfortunately, we need to get Steve listed on there as a camera operator, and then our location sound mixer. We don't have him on there yet either, Jake. So
Oh yeah,
still 2 crew members we got to add to that whole page, but that's most of them.
yeah. Like I said, you guys definitely stay on the lookout for that, because that's going to be something very cool. And hopefully, it's something that and that's gonna come out on PARAFlixx, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
I hope so. We're in negotiations. Natalie's very interested in it, but
Yeah.
obviously, you got to make sure it gets done first before you air it. So,
Right.
so that's my hopeful home for it.
I know I've still got to post pictures from there. When I came back, we were diving right into a lot of stuff here at the jail, so I actually still have pictures that I've got to post from when I was up there. But again, thank you guys so much for allowing me to be a part of it, and
That was our pleasure.
can't wait to see how it goes. Go ahead, Dan.
Well, no, we thank you for coming up and being part of it. So,
It
was
just so happened that our shooting
that
window
was
aligned with your vacation window.
yes.
Yeah. So like I said, a few more little clips here. We've got so this is your season 2 that's getting ready to come out. A teaser for season 2, correct?
Never seen before. You are the first one that's going to be airing it.
Okay, that's weird. I don't know why the phone is ringing here at the jail.
Maybe it's for Larry.
Maybe.
We get calls from. It's so funny. So of course it's 10:30 here at night.
You have reached the historic Scott County Jail. We are currently closed for the day. Our general business hours are.
I'm kind of wondering who it is now.
I am too.
I am too.
Tuesdays and Wednesdays. Thursdays and Fridays, 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. And Saturdays, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Our hours are in the
Oh my gosh.
What a long message.
If you have any other questions, please leave a message.
Oh, what a letdown.
After all that, they're not going to leave a message?
Not even going to say anything.
It's so funny because this happened after one of my shows one night, and I was leaving, and as I'm leaving the door, I'm hearing like this voice talking, and I'm like, what the heck? And so, because once you go into the foyer and start locking the doors, you can't always hear the phone ringing there. And so I hear this voice talking, and it's a man sitting there, and he's just like, and then he says he was trying to get a hold of some inmate that he was needing to take some clothes to or something. And I was sitting there listening to it. It was so creepy as I was listening to it, but that's I don't know why somebody's calling here at 10:30 at night.
Ghost caller.
Anyways, okay. So we'll go ahead and pull up the season 2 episode here.
Yep. Never seen before. This is it.
Nice. Thanks for letting me premiere it.
Absolutely.
Did we hear you say mommy last time we were here? If so, can you say mommy again, please? It's like a little kid's voice.
And you know what it sounded like it just said?
What, mommy? You're right. You're right.
It sounded like it went, mommy, really quick.
So that one we won't give too much information away because you got to watch the show to see the rest of it. But
creepy.
But that response matches with prior investigator Steve, who's in there with us. His investigation had the same response, and it matches with the history of the location.
Very cool. Very cool. So again, plug whenever that's supposed to come out.
The first episode, which is actually that one right there that you just saw. That's our first episode. It's a bar and grill called Sledgehammers in Oregon, Illinois. That's coming out September 23rd. And then every Friday after that until October 28th. I believe it's 8 p.m. Central. But kind of how you post multiple time zones. I get them mixed up. So it's around that time on Friday.
Nice. Well, thank you again for letting me premiere that. And guys, if I know a lot of you guys know Expedition Entity and Larry and Dan, but if you've not subscribed to their channel, definitely go and check out their YouTube page. We do have the links to that. We've got a ton of links here in the show notes, everything from their Instagram page. I know Dan, he does a lot of different lives. You go live almost every day, right?
Not as much as I used to. I try to keep up with the social media as much as I can, but I just put out little tastes. I don't put out a whole lot of stuff like I used to. But lately I've been doing more and more lives. As always, there's the hubbub and the paranormal, and I can't bite my tongue all the time and have to throw in my 2 cents. But, I try to go live a couple times a week if possible.
Okay. Yeah. And so definitely guys, go check out their YouTube channel. We've got it pulled up here on the screen. We've also got all the notes there in the show notes, and you can watch some of these different videos that we've shown tonight, as well as can they watch past episodes on this?
No.
Okay.
No, we pulled all the past episodes down.
Okay.
Just because, for our one cast member that didn't want to be on there anymore, we just said, you know what, we'll honor your wish, and then that'll be it.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Gotcha. But you can still see some great evidence in these videos here on this page. Also, go check out PARAFlixx. You'll be glad you did, because there's a ton of paranormal content if you like paranormal content, as well as the Expedition Entity Facebook page. And I want to make sure that I've not missed anything. Let me double check the links here. Yeah, Instagram under Ghosthunter Dan, Ghosthunter Larry, smalltownproductions.com. And then also, these guys are authors. And so, so you definitely want to go to amazon.com. We do have the link in there to Dan's books there, Afterlife Anthology, and then the Ghost of Black Hawk War novel.
Which we also do presentations on.
Okay.
And I believe we're presenting October 16th at the Midwest Spirit Fest for Dale Kaczmarek's conference in it's just outside of Chicago. And then we'll also be presenting November 6th at the Afterlife Paranormal Conference in DeKalb, Illinois.
Nice.
So we'll cover a lot of the cool stuff that happened to us during the investigations for the book. You'll see videos and photos and all sorts of stuff.
Nice. Yeah. And that was where we got to stop, right? Was that the no, that wasn't the memorial. I was trying to think of the park that we stopped at.
You're talking about Stillman.
Stillman.
Yes. Stillman is a big part of the book because we've got the most there. That memorial is actually Kellogg's Grove, which is the one we couldn't take you to.
Gotcha. Yeah, so definitely, guys, go on to Amazon, check out these books. I mean, these guys are very, very knowledgeable about Black Hawk War. When they took me there to Stillman's, I mean, just being in that location and actually having heard about it when I talked to Dan on my show last year, and then actually being able to stand in there. I mean, it was just a very humbling experience because, I mean, that place has got energy unlike anything other, just walking into it.
Oh, it does.
Yeah. So y'all definitely go check them out. Support their page by liking, subscribing, following. It's, as content creators, that's something that's extremely important. And, I appreciate all of you guys that have taken the time to be with us tonight asking questions and comments and watching the videos. And so I know that they would definitely appreciate, a like and follow if you haven't already. And to those of you, that have, thank you so much.
We're
guys,
also looking for ratings on our IMDb, which I might have sent to you.
You did. I'm going to pull that up too. Yeah.
For the IMDb's, show popularity is actually a big statistic. And you got to go on and you got to rate the show 1 to 10 stars. And then after a while, it populates a score, and then you can see how your show is doing with shows in other categories. So we haven't really pushed the IMDb ratings, but now I'm realizing how important it is. So
yeah, so we've got the link there. We've also got the link in the show notes there. That way, if excuse me, if you want to get access to any of this, they are there in the show notes as well. And I'll go back and I'll actually add those to the comments. That way they pop up as you're looking at the comments here, and they will pop up live links. So we'll do that here right after we get off the show. So any other dates or anything that people need to be on the lookout for?
Just the conferences we're doing. August 20th, Dan is going to be, actually this weekend, 2 days from now. Dan's going to be in Rockford at the Illinois Paranormal Conference at the Vents Hall, actually, with Steve.
Steve and I'll be there.
And then the October conference with Dale Kismerick that I brought up. I think it's October 16th in Thornton, Illinois.
Thornton,
I've never been there, so I'm looking forward to it.
Either.
And then the November 5th and 6th in DeKalb, Illinois. One is it's a historical crimes con, which sounds really neat, and we got a really good story to share. And then the Afterlife Paranormal Conference on the 6th. So we're gonna have a big booth. My master plan, because I was lucky to get a Peninsula booth, so I'm open on 3 sides. I'm bringing a 55-inch TV, and I'm playing Expedition Entity all day long.
Nice. Leave it to you to bring the tech.
I'm hoping I'm going to bring people over to watch, and they'll be like, what's all this? Well,
and I gotta say, and let me see if I can pull that up, because I did see this just a few minutes ago, and I wanted to actually draw attention to this because I just think this is just freaking cool. So let me pull this up here. Yeah, so just gotta draw attention to, let me see if I can zoom in just a little bit here. These guys are decorated here, I mean, we talked about the tech and all that stuff. These guys have not only been nominated, but have won several different awards for your videos, correct?
I think we're up to 10 wins now. And then right now we're sitting on a selection for the Southeast Regional Film Festival, which is regional festivals are huge. They get thousands of entries, and a very small number meet selection. And we were lucky enough to meet selection. So I believe that's held in the end of September. So we're still fingers crossed. But, I'm hoping to place well in that. And something like that, a win like that, just helps bring us further out into the film world and lets people know, hey, these guys aren't doing too bad.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I saw where you guys had announced that just a few weeks ago, and I saw where PARAFlixx had announced it too. So fantastic, and congratulations on all the wins, and then also on being selected. So when do they choose that? Do you know?
I believe the event for the regional festival is being held the 16th.
Okay.
And then sometimes it could take a couple weeks before you find out. So I'm hoping by October we'll know.
Okay, very cool.
And then sometimes they tell you right away, so we might know sooner. But I'm so excited to win the ones we've won. We're so honored that someone is looking at these 2 fat guys from the Midwest and they're going, "Oh, okay, this is pretty good." So,
yes, well, in a
the last one that we had just.
Oh, go ahead. Incredible. Yeah, I mean, in a field.
Really I'm sorry. I said the last one that we just won was
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm lagging you guys.
You were lagging nasty. The last one that we had just won, it was the Indie Fest Film Awards. And that festival's been around for, I want to say, I think 13 years now. And usually the ones that have been around for a long time are pretty well established and a little prestigious. And it came with an IMDb win, which to win an IMDb festival is really difficult. Just to make selection, they say it's at minimum a 1 out of 3. So you have a 1 in 3 shot of being cut just by selection. And then winning is even less than that. So to come out with best web series was really surprising. There were a lot of big celebrities in that festival. Laura Dern, I believe she directed a piece. I think, what was it, George Clooney and somebody else did a voiceover for a piece. I think Jamie Lee Curtis was involved in a piece there. Liam Neeson, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We're in a festival with those guys.
That's awesome. I mean, that's awesome. It's, that's incredible, especially too in a field that's so super saturated as well with investigators and content creators. So that's definitely a big feather in your cap there.
Well, we do things the way we do things because we believe in it. We don't add sound effects for the investigations. What you hear is what we hear. And sometimes we don't even hear it, but you did. What you see, like I said earlier tonight, when you see us investigate, that's like a 4-hour window, 6-hour window. We're not there for a week. We're there for one night.
Yeah.
And so far it's worked for us, and we've stayed the course. And when you keep your nose to the grindstone, sometimes it works out.
Absolutely. So, again, appreciate you guys coming on tonight. And, again, everyone, thank you so much in the chat room there. I'm going to go ahead and let you guys go for tonight. Like I said, I appreciate you taking the time and coming on. I know both of you have been extremely busy. Larry, starting back school there.
Yeah,
and,
I had my teaching assistant orientation this week while I'm still editing video. So it's been like a 4-hour a night sleep every day. And then I have a wedding to attend Saturday. So the rehearsal dinner's tomorrow. And then I start classes on Monday while also teaching assisting. And I still have to put a series out.
And I pretty much work every day for the next 7. So
yeah, Dan doesn't leave his job. He lives there now.
Well, I do appreciate you taking the time to come on tonight. And again, everyone, go check out the different things we've got going on here at the historic Scott County Jail with the escape room opening back up and some of the different events that we've got coming up. We still have a few dates for the remainder of the year open for paranormal investigations, as well as guided ghost hunts and flashlight tours. We've got many, many different dates for flashlight tours and guided ghost hunts and ghost walks coming up through going into the fall. Be wrapping up our Red, White, and Boo series here for the summer and heading into the fall. So
that's a really
get in
catchy
on
name.
Those dates. Oh, thank you.
That's
thank
a really
you.
good name.
Get in there and come and check out some of those as we wrap up the summer and get ready for the fall, because we do have some very, very, very cool things that we'll be announcing here in the next little bit that's going to be coming up during spooky season here in October, some partnerships with local schools and some different things like that we've got going on. And again, Ghost Biker events that's coming up pretty much during the month of September 10th. 2 tickets left to the Soul Sisters Ghost Biker Explorations investigation at Octagon Hall in Franklin, Kentucky. Motorcycle ride that morning. And then the very next weekend, we're going to be with the historic Scott County Jail at Haunting in the Hills Storytelling Festival there in the Big South Fork, which if you love storytelling, you're going to definitely want to come and check this out, because we've got storytellers from all over the country that descend here onto Big South Fork. And so it's a full night of storytelling. And then the very next weekend is the Deep South Paracon, which is in Daleville, Alabama. Going to be heading down to the Alabama, Florida line. Got that on the website as well. And then the very next weekend is Hogs and Haunts back up in London, Kentucky. So full month in September, leading into the release of season 5 of Ghost Biker Explorations in October. So again, everyone got some really cool things coming up. Let me see. My cat is laying here on my phone. Want to make sure to tell who's coming on next week. Actually, I think that next week is an open week. So there may or may not be a show. We may be talking about, I think, a couple different events that are coming up. So just stay tuned for next week to see what we got going on there. So again, until then, I hope everyone has a wonderful week. Bye.
Good night.